have a haul today of a bunch of fan art and merch and some books that I got at an anime convention that I went to earlier this month, SAKURA-CON. So this is my second anime convention that my husband and I have been to, and it's our second SAKURA-CON convention. It's the only one we've been to. So in this video, I'm going to have a few different items to share from publisher booths that I went to, merch from the concert that I got. I met up with some online friends in person, and I have a couple goodies to share that were gifted to me. And then all of the art and merch and items that I got from Artist Alley for fandoms that I'm interested in, as well as the ones my husband is interested in. So I'll go through and share all of those. And rather than putting the artists' social media handles in the timestamps like I usually do, I'm going to put them on the screen, but I will still have timestamps below to make it a little easier to jump around. And before I get into this year's haul, I'll put a link to my Artist Alley haul from last year, 2024, all of the goods that I picked up and the artists that I bought from. So that's where you can see all of that. And then now I'll get into my 2025 SAKURA-CON haul. So we only got one ribbon this year, and it was for Bloodborne, so I put it on my husband's badge. Last year we got a few more, so I think maybe we just weren't really paying attention when we were going through Artist Alley and missed out on a couple, but it's okay. And this was the official art for the con this year. Just a little information packet about the con, as well as some maps and just information for attendees. But the very first booth that I went to when we went into the exhibitors hall was Publang, and it was pretty exciting because I've only recently gotten into danmei, and they had several titles, more than what I picked up, but they had several titles from the danmei publisher Rosmei, which is based in, I believe, Singapore. So it was so convenient to be able to pick up some titles that I wanted to check out just in person at their booth. And so the ones that I picked up were ones that had more modern settings, and then this one has a mix of modern and historical, but I thought it looked kind of interesting from the premise. But I'm not going to go through and talk about each of these titles right now because I'm going to just get into all of the art that I picked up. I'm going to have another haul video coming up soon with all of the books that I picked up on my trip, because in addition to these 4 books, I picked up a bunch more when we went to visit Kinokuniya and Barnes & Noble, just because where I live locally, it's not a very big selection. There's only one bookstore near me, and when I say near me, I mean 3 hours away from where I live. So I just went on a shopping spree and got lots of books, so I'm gonna talk a little bit more about these ones when I share my book haul. But along with those Rosmei purchases at the Publang booth, I got a couple freebie stickers and a bookmark from, I believe, an upcoming novel that they're gonna be releasing, Tailhook. And the sticker sheet from Semantic Error, the novel, which I haven't started reading yet, but I am pretty curious how the novel differs from the manhwa, since the manhwa is an adaptation of the novel. So planning to check that out. But I just really enjoyed learning more about Publang on this trip and going to their panels. I went to 2 of their panels and their booth, and I had a lot of fun, and I feel like I learned a lot about how publishing for novels works, because even though I am an avid reader, I'm pretty new to BL novels. I've only read a couple danmei volumes, so I'm really excited to kind of dive into more Korean novels as well as danmei. Another publisher booth that I visited was Yen Press, and I got some freebies. So Semantic Error the manhwa, there was this kind of mini poster, and this is a series I enjoy, and I love the art for this series. So I had to get this and safely transport it back home. I also got this bookmark from Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. So this is a series that I have been reading digitally, and I haven't read any of the novel. I've been keeping up with the webtoon release, and I believe this is art from the novel. And there were some announcements about its upcoming release, so wanted to get this. And then another upcoming release, Murderous Lewellyn's Candlelit Dinner. This is another series that I'm really looking forward to the release of. I did read the digital release last year, and I really liked the story. So I'm looking forward to the print release of it. And one other booth that we went to at the exhibitors hall was, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Copic or Copic, but they had a booth and it was really fun. My husband and I both tested out their markers. They had some kind of sample drawings and then you could color them in. This one's mine. I was so proud. And my husband's. And they also had a little prize wheel and we both spun. And we got this tote as well as this little pen. So that was fun. I'm not really an artist at all, but it was fun trying out the markers, as the ones we used had two sides and one side was like firm and one side was like a brush. So I let my creative side come out a little bit. Convention spanned over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there were 2 concerts over the weekend. So on Friday, Hitsujibungaku performed, and I'm really glad that we found out who the artists were before SAKURA-CON so that we could listen to some of their music ahead of time.
Enjoy.
Saturday night's performance was Reol, and we had a lot of fun at that concert as well.
今日はここにいる全員で素晴らしい時間を一緒に作りたいと思うんですけど、みんな力貸してくれますか？ Okay, let's go! Concha Anchu!
But we did bring some merch with us. We prepared ahead of time because we wanted to get some anime-related items autographed. So from Reol, we didn't get any merch or any autographs, but from Hitsujibungaku, we got these 2 albums autographed. So More Than Words, they did the JJK, one of the EDs, and they did perform it at the concert, as well as Burning from the Oshi no Ko soundtrack. I really like this ED. It's so emotionally moving. So I enjoyed the concert, but when this song was playing, I got chills and got all emotional thinking about the story. But happy to have both of these little keepsakes now with their autographs. I also was able to meet up with a couple friends from Instagram in real life. One of those was K-Blink Buddy, a friend both on YouTube and Instagram. And I actually met her last year at SAKURA-CON, my first convention. And we got to spend some time together at panels and walking artist alleys. So I was looking forward to seeing her again this year. And we got to sit through a few more panels together, Yen Press, and the 2 Publang panels. And she's so thoughtful. She gave me a couple presents when we saw each other, and they were both Oshi no Ko aqua little figures, and I was so happy because I don't have any Oshi no Ko other than the signed album that we had just gotten autographed that weekend. I just recently read the manga series and really enjoyed it. Aqua's my favorite character. Oh, actually, I do have the anime guidebook and the art book, but I don't have any of the manga volumes in my physical collection yet, but Now I have these two cute little aquas. So first, this little kitty one. He's so cute. Oh, I love him. And it's so funny because like it's flat here and his little outfit is all squished, but super cute. And I think, yeah, Ruby and Kana have them too. I want to get Rubies so that I can just have the twins next to each other when I have the manga volumes and just they can kind of watch over the collection. And then this other one, I've seen other people have these on their shelves and this is my first one and it's so cute. I don't know what these figures are called, but I've talked about them with a friend and she calls them little booty figures because of their little bottoms. So I guess that's what I will call it. His little booty figure leaning over this block. And again, I'll be able to kind of find things to perch him on. And this one too, like his little outfit is all squished. I love the detail though, like even though this is gonna be down on something, the little detail is still there. And I love that his little foot is up. He's so cute. But again, looks like Ruby and Kana both have them. And I'm not sure if I'll try to get either of them or if I'll just be happy having Aqua. I'm not sure yet, but so excited to have these now. And then another friend, this time from Instagram, was going to be traveling to go to this anime convention, and I was both nervous to meet her in person as well as excited, but glad I was able to meet both Ashley and Liz. I had a lot of fun spending time with you guys, and Ashley actually gifted me a few photo cards from a series that has been on my TBR, but I haven't gotten around to reading it yet. But now I've bumped it up on my TBR so that I can check it out sooner. But it looks so cute, this manhwa series. These were some of her duplicate PCs. But I'm looking forward to reading it as I do have a few friends who have read it and really like it. But I have this merch now. It looks really cute. Now that I'm sitting here holding this, I forget what the series is called. I think it's Paws and Claws or something like that. But one of the licensing announcements from Publang at their panel was that the novel is going to be coming to English soon. So I'd kind of like to check out the manhwa before the novel releases so that I can just kind of see what the story is like and see the art for the characters and the puppies. So looking forward to getting into this series soon. And then next is all of the art that I got. So I'll go through all of that and I'll have the artist's social media handles on the screen, as well as timestamps for either the characters or the series that are represented with the different fan art pieces. So first I'll start out with some Studio Ghibli fan art. So Spirited Away is my favorite Ghibli film, Spirited Away and Whisper of the Heart, but I love the Set Spirits, and as soon as I saw this on display in Artist Alley, I was immediately I have to have this. It's so cute. And I just love the kind of like watercolor style for the little set sprites and the little stars. So glad that I was able to get this one. And then this one is from Nausicaa, which is another one that we like. But we wanted to get this one. It caught our eye, and I don't know, I guess just the lighting of it just really stood out to me. So happy to have these ones now. A couple other little Ghibli items are these little stationery items from this artist. And these are from Spirited Away as well, with the set sprites. I just love them. They're so cute. So I got a little memo pad and a little to-do list. So I'm excited to use them, but then I'm going to be sad when I start getting low on them since they don't have that many sheets in them, but I thought they were super cute. Next are a couple romance items from 2 different series. Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku and My Dress Up Darling. And they're by this artist. But I'm a huge fan of Wotakoi, and I thought this was such a cute little design of Hirotaka and Narumi, and of course, this is going to go right on my shelf. And then this sticker. By the time we found this booth, we noticed a lot of the charms were sold out, so we got this sticker of Gojo and Marin for my husband's shelf. He has a little My Dress Up Darling section. So glad we found these on the last day walking through Artist Alley. So cute. Now into some shonen series of fan art and little merch items that I also got. This is another one that I found on the last day walking through Artist Alley by this artist. I was so happy to find this though, because I had been looking all weekend for anything Naruto. Like, I know that the series has ended, so it's not a new and like current fandom for artists to be drawing, but I was hopeful because I am new to Naruto. I just read it last year and fell in love with Kakashi and Iruka, so I was hoping I'd find something and found this little charm. He's so cute. It's double-sided, but he doesn't have the scar on this side, so this is the front. But I love his ears and his fluffy tail and his stylish little outfit, and he's reading. And then I also love this little detail, the clip for the charm has a little tail and ears as well. So, so happy to have this. And it has a little bit of a glitter, inside the filling here. And then of course, One Piece. I had my eye out the whole time for One Piece art, especially of Sanji, and I got 4 new prints. 3 of them are by the same artist, so these first 3 were all by the same artist, and I loved this one that it was like the same scene but from different angles. I'm a huge Sanji fan and also a huge Zosan fan, so had to get both of these. And then my husband is a big fan of Robin, so got this one for him. And then also found this one of the Straw Hats. And I just loved the art style and how happy they all looked, so wanted to pick this one up as well. This group photo style illustration. And next, just like last year, I had to get lots of Toji art. And I'm so happy that he's such a popular character in the art community. This was actually my first purchase of the weekend from Artist Alley. He just was looking so cute, so beach ready with his tank top and sunglasses, and I just needed this. So this is going to be going right into my Toji art binder. And then these 2 were by the same artist. And I was actually torn. I knew I was going to get this one. I just needed to have it, of course. But this one was actually a design that they had as a pin. So I took a while contemplating, should I get the print or should I get the pin? And obviously I ended up getting the print because I'm trying to downsize a bit with my Toji pin collection. But I just really liked this art, and then I did like that with the print. It was a lot larger. If I had gotten the pin, it would have been like that big. So I'm able to enjoy the whole panel now. And then lastly, this Toji one from the Shibuya arc. And I got this from an artist that I do already have a few Toji prints from last year. So I'm glad that their passion for Toji is still going strong. So we'll be looking forward to adding all 4 of these to my Toji binder. The next series that I bought a bunch of fan art for, it was a bit impulsive, but I don't regret it. And it is from the series Bleach. There was an artist at Artist Alley who just had a ton of Bleach prints, and a bunch of them were big posters. And then they had some of these smaller ones as well. And right before SAKURA-CON started, I had just finished reading the Soul Society arc, so I was so hooked and I had enjoyed it so much. So many of these characters are just iconic, so even before starting Bleach, I already recognized a ton of them, but I wanted to get prints from some of my favorite characters so far, as well as a couple characters that I hadn't met yet, just because I liked this art style a lot and just how dynamic the backgrounds looked. And I figured if I didn't just get them, I would regret it later, so I picked them up. And I'm sorry, I don't remember all of their names, but Renji, I really like him. And then I have his name written down because I want to remember his name, but I keep calling him Bucket Hat Guy. But his looked pretty cool. And then Kenny, I really like him. So I was glad he had a design too. There were some characters that didn't have designs, so maybe they're still working on it. But I have read, right now I'm about halfway through the Arancers arc. So now I have met the last 2 characters that I got prints for, but still plugging along in my read through of Bleach. And then I forget his name, but I didn't recognize him at first because he didn't have the ornaments in his hair. So I thought he didn't have a fan art, but then my husband went back to the booth later with his name on his phone and was like, do you guys have him too? And they did, so I'm glad that he asked because I would have just missed this one. And then I don't really know this captain super well yet, but he made an impression on me and I liked his art here, so I wanted to get it as well. And then I got this one for my husband actually, because I know he's gonna like her whenever he starts reading the series. But then even if he didn't, I'm sure he will, but even if he didn't, then I would want this because I added her to my waifus because she is so cool. So I had to get hers. And then the last 2, I've seen them so much on like Instagram and just people being in love with them. So I was like, you know what? I don't know them yet, but I might love them, so I'll get them as well. But at the point I'm at right now, halfway through, I think I might be saying it wrong, the Arancers arc, I've met both of them, and I really like him so far. But excited to see how the arc plays out and what I'll think of these two guys. But really pleased with these ones. Ah! and just so glad that I had gotten into the series before the convention so I could not miss out on this art. And next is a print from Bungo Stray Dogs by this artist. And they actually had a variety of stickers and other prints in this kind of tarot style, as well as some other larger prints as well. I almost caved and got a few more because they had Mori and Fukuzawa, but I really liked this one. They're my favorite trio, and this is just such a special part of the series for me, so I wanted to just have this one in this style and just have it on my shelf. Oda is one of my favorite characters, and then just this trio of Oda, Dazai, and Ongo is just so special. And then I have one item from Haikyuu. I was surprised I didn't see more fan art for Haikyuu, though I did see a bit and passed on it now that I think about it. And it's because my favorite character in the series is Omi, and he was not featured in a lot of the fan art that I saw. But I saw a booth at the exhibitors hall that was selling these little charms of the different high school teams, but then they had a Musubi charm, the Black Jackals, and he's on there. I'm a huge Omi fan, as well as Sakuatsu, but then also this team is my favorite team in the series, and it's my favorite arc, the last arc, with the Jackals versus the Adlers. So I was really excited as soon as I saw this and saw this little chibi Omi. I was like, of course I'm getting this, and I'm going to put it on my Haikyuu shelf, and it's so cute, and I love the colors. The string is really long, so I might have to like trim it, I guess. I'm not really sure. But really happy I found this. I was hoping there would be one for the Adlers too, just so I could have one for each of them, but I didn't see one, so glad that they had this one. Next, I have a print from Evangelion. And my husband has recently become a fan of this series. He watched it, and I've watched some of the movies, but he found this one in Artist Alley, and the artist was doing a deal with their prints, so he actually got this one as well as a few prints from another fandom. So he'll be adding this to his art binder. And the rest of the bits of art are going to be from different game series. So from this series, Bloodborne. So just a few, I don't know, characters he likes, or maybe parts of the plot that he likes. And then one more Bloodborne item, which I guess also has art from Elden Ring and Dark Souls, is a little art collection by this artist with really cute, like, chibi designs of scenes from the games. And I think if these had been sold as prints, we probably would have picked up a few of them. But because they were all collected into this booklet, quite a few too. It's pretty thick. We just wanted to pick this up. So this will be a cute little addition to my husband's gaming shelf. Of course, my husband was keeping a close eye out for anything related to Nier Automata or Nier Replicant. So, by this artist, he got this acrylic stand. They had this as an art print as well, but they only had it in a large poster size, and he opted to get the acrylic standee instead. Partially because of space for displaying it, but then also travel. We were gonna be getting on a plane, so we didn't want to have too much to carry around in hand with us. But this design is based off of a figure that released, and then this is just art in their style of that figure. So I thought this was pretty neat that we found this. And then a couple other near prints that we found by this artist. And I knew we were going to need to get all three of these as soon as I saw them because it had the characters in their style from 3 different Nier games. So Nier Automata, Nier Replicant, and Nier Reincarnation, which is the mobile game. So had to get these because my husband is a huge fan of this whole series. Okay, just a couple left. From Final Fantasy VII, we had to get this art from this artist booth of Cloud. These kitties. Final Fantasy VII is the only one that I've seen being played by my husband, so I'm not familiar with the other games in that franchise, but I like Cloud, and he looked super cute in this art style, and I love little kitties in art designs, and my husband was not sure, and I was like, no, we have to get it. And this art print of Tifa that we picked up. And it's stunning. Last year we got a few big posters of some of my husband's favorite female characters. So Hancock, Zelda, and Tubi, all in the same size, 11 by 17. So we got him Tifa this year, and she's gonna go up on the wall with his other girls. But I just really love the lighting and the shadows and just the coloring. So glad we found this one too. And it's an artist that my husband has been following on social media for a while. So glad I remembered to get this art in here because I had it off to the side and almost forgot about it. And then 2 prints from The Legend of Zelda. From Tears of the Kingdom. And it was just so pretty. I loved the way that the coloring looked. So I had to get this one. And then this link from Breath of the Wild by this artist. This is my favorite outfit for him in Breath of the Wild. I do like his Gerudo Desert, both Vo and Vi, but this is my go-to outfit for him, his stealth gear. But yeah, so gonna be adding these to our Zelda art collection. And one last artist that we bought several prints and stickers from. It's this artist, and my husband was thrilled when he saw her booth because he loves this series. I enjoy it a lot too, but I'm a viewer. I watch him play games, so I enjoy the story and the soundtracks and the characters just as I watch him playing. But these are from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So Noah and Mio. And then Mio's little sticker. They also had all the sticker designs available as charms, but he opted to get the stickers so that you could get all of them. But she's really cute. And then the 2 other girls. And then from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Pirate and Mithra, and then a few other prints of other characters. Jin's my favorite character. And my two favorite ships in Xenoblade Chronicles are Jin and Laura and Zeke and Pandy. So I'm equally happy that he found this booth and found these prints. So lots of exciting art that we picked up at SAKURA-CON. I've been trying really hard to keep everything separate with the artist business cards so that I could refer to them in this video and direct attention to their social media in case anyone watching likes some of the art that we picked up as well. So now I'm looking forward to taking all this art and putting it away, putting it in our binders, choosing some of it to put on display on our shelves. But really happy we were able to go to another anime convention this year. I'd really like to be able to go to a different anime convention next year, just to kind of experience a different one, but I do like that I'm kind of comfortable now at SAKURA-CON and with traveling in Seattle. So I'm not sure yet what our future con plans will be, but we had a lot of fun this year at SAKURA-CON. But hope you enjoyed watching our art haul, and keep your eyes out for my next haul video, which is going to be all the books that we picked up on our trip as we were traveling and on vacation, stopping into every bookstore that we drove by. And I'm excited to share all the exciting stuff we picked up, including the danmei volumes that I included earlier in this haul. I'm going to talk about those a little bit more. So look forward to that. But until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.